Couple of important games today. The first one is the Carabao Cup quarter-final against Newcastle United, who in our last 5 games against them, we have not been able to beat. And then the following game is against a small team that you might have heard of called Manchester United. What could possibly go wrong with that? Hello there, how you doing? Welcome to part number 19 of Club 3 of the MyCareer save here on Football Manager with Wolverhampton Wanderers. My name is Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video where we are going to be playing the 2 aforementioned games and, well, what will be, will be. I don't think it's going to go particularly well, but we'll see what happens. Also, we're going to be celebrating the fact that we've hit the 2-year mark in our time here at Wolverhampton Wanderers. And I've not accepted a job at another club like I did with Wolves, like I did with Charlton. So we've broken that kind of mini cycle there. I'm not going to lie, it was slightly on my mind. But if you're excited to see how we get on in both of those games today, then do not forget to leave a big like on the video for me. And hit the subscribe button if you enjoy what you see and you want to keep up to date with all of the nonsense that comes out of this face right here. So, how have we been doing? Well, we're top of the league still. We're doing well. I'm very happy with how things are going. I'm surprised at how things are going, but we are doing quite well. Now, I've got to be honest with you. I thought around this period here, I thought, not that the wheels were coming off because we won against Chelsea, but I thought that Juventus game is a real kick in the teeth, by the way. You can see here, they score early, we equalise, and then they get a last-minute goal in the first half. We fight the entire second half to get that goal back to make it 2-1, and then they just get one more goal in added time just to give us a bit of a kick in the pants, which is a little bit annoying. Chelsea, we beat them thoroughly. It was a fantastic thing. I loved it. Loved every moment of it. The Spurs game was a disappointing one. We just couldn't get going in that one. It is what it is. But then immediately after that, we beat Manchester City 3-0. And the best thing about that one, actually thinking about it, was that tactically, obviously this is the tactic I normally use. I accidentally used this one. I didn't actually have the 3 strikers. This is a late edition, but this shape, but we were on attack. We had the same instructions here, and here. I did this by mistake. I was meaning to do this one, and I landed on that one, and we just battered them completely. It was great. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm very happy with that. But as a result of that, I mean, the fact that we lost against Spurs but then beat Man City means we still have that 1-point advantage. I can't imagine it's going to last. I mean, we've got Manchester United today, and then after today's video, Liverpool are the next game at Anfield. So I feel like it's all going to come crumbling down around them. But at the moment, everything is going really well. Now, as you can see as well, Champions League has been going pretty good other than that game against Juventus. We were last with you around here for Leeds and Real Sociedad. Was it Leeds and Real Sociedad? It was definitely Real Sociedad. It was Leeds as well. Ben Cook having like a really good bit of form there. Galatasaray in our last Champions League game, we won that 4-2, which means the Champions League group, which we're not obviously looking at today properly, looks like this. We are currently level on points with Bayern Munich, who are the last team in that top 8. So we're not far away from that. So we just need to try and make sure that we do well in our last couple of games. And our fate is not necessarily in our hands, but we can definitely help our cause. We've got those final 2 games at the end of January. Olympiacos and Eintracht Frankfurt. We know Frankfurt very well from last season. So hopefully we can get another good result on them. But that's how it's doing. I'm pretty happy with how it's gone, to be fair. 4 wins and 2 losses, no draws. Apparently we don't do things by half, so that's pretty good going. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy with how things are going. Now, I will mention quickly as well that Mapiu is more than likely leaving the club. He came to me, said he wanted to go on loan. I'm not really a fan of loaning a first-team player out. I'd rather have them in the squad or sell them. So I've said to him he's going to have to leave, and leave he is going to. We have had a multitude of offers at the moment. We've got these 2 here from Bristol City and Eintracht Frankfurt. He came into the club way back when for absolutely nothing, apparently. He's actually a player who is at Wolves. I don't know about at the moment. I don't know about real-life transfers, whether he's still there or not. But as of started this game, he's just joined. So he has been with Wolves for quite some time. So it's a little bit sad in a way that we are letting him go, but he's just not good enough in the nicest way. He's kind of last resort when I think of someone who we need to put in there. He's good, don't get me wrong. He can do a job. He's definitely a Premier League player, but I think he's a Premier League player for someone who's probably not a European team. So I'm quite happy to let him go and get on with his career, and I'm quite happy to use that money and that space to bring in someone else or bring in youngsters. You know what I'm like. So this is the 11 that we're going to be using for the game against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. Just a reminder as well, as you can see up here, previous meetings, haven't won against them in the last 5 meetings against them. They have recently signed Mikel Arteta as manager as well. Newcastle, by the way, if we look at the Premier League, I don't think my head's in the way of it. You can see just there that they're in 12th place. They're not having a fantastic season at all. They're going to be looking to this, even though it's not in the Premier League, they're going to be looking to this to hopefully get them back on track. So it's our job to make sure that doesn't happen. So this is the 11. It is going to be Van der Voort in goal, Ute, Marine and Awino in defence, Leifson, Shockquist, O'Reilly and Beja as the 4 in front of them. Then we have Jack Grealish supporting Ben Cook and a Twester up front. Let's see what we can do. Ben Cook's, by the way, not been in the best of form. Neither really has Kiko Beya. However, we have got an injury to Ait Nuri, so we're going to have to kind of rely on Kiko Beya. Although we have used Hinselwood as a left back, and he actually did a really, really good job when I called upon him. So hopefully, if we need to use him, he'll do a decent enough job. We had a mini falling out with McKernan. I forget exactly what it was. I can't remember, but we had a bit of a falling out with him. We had a falling out a while ago as well with James Trafford, so we have promised that he can leave if someone offers enough money. Arsenal have been sniffing around him as well. Other than that, though, I don't think we've fallen out with anyone. Andre has started to kind of be the Andre of old, but not quite as good as I'd like him to be, so he is being rested for today. We are giving oh my god, he's gone out of my head completely. The guy that we signed as the alternative, O'Reilly, I forgot his name completely. Goodness me, Stu, your brain sometimes. He's going to play today, and hopefully he'll do a decent job for us, as will hopefully Jack Grealish, who I'm a bit mindful of using Jack Grealish too much, because if we use him enough, we will have to pay for him in terms of one more season after this season. I'm quite happy to just have him for the one season and let him go. But if he performs for us, why not keep him, to be fair? So I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get to the end of the season. But off we go. Momentum, it's all in kind of our favour at the moment. We've got good possession in the first 10 minutes and we've had a shot. I'd like to see a few more shots. The new manager bounce is a real thing. So we could see Newcastle be a bit of a tricky one to beat today, depending on how Mikel's got them set up in their tactics. We can see they've gone with a 4-3-3 with a holding midfielder. Pretty standard football manager formation, I think you'll agree. We've not really made much headway in this game. We've had a couple of chances, but we haven't actually got any of them on target yet, which is a bit of a concern. So we need to do something about that. The striker's really not having a good time. I don't know whether that's because they're having shots that are just going off target or whether they're not even having the shots. They've managed to just get into our box here, which is a concern. Into Kone, he's going to have a shot here, and he's scored. We've done so much work in that first period of the first half of just holding onto the ball and not doing anything with it, and then they come and counter-attack us. Oh, that's really annoying. That's really annoying. I really want us to beat Newcastle today, and we've just let them do that. So I'm going to demand more from the boys. I'd normally encourage them. I'm going to demand more. I'm really annoyed that we've not had any shots on target. I think that's really ridiculous. Right, Jack Grealish turns in. He's going to go for the shot here, and Jack Grealish gets the goal. And Jack Grealish, I tell you what, for 35 or whatever he is, he's doing a really good job when we need him to. The disappointment is he's playing well and getting into the team because Fernandes has been so inconsistent in this system. I just can't get a consistent string of games out of Fernandes. And sometimes he's so poor. Like, he'll have a 6.3 in a game we win 3-0. So I just can't rely on him. So I think going forward, tactically, is this a tactic to use going forward in the future? I don't know. I like it this season. It's done really, really well for us. But with the... What are you doing there, Showquist? We need... I don't like the fact that that just happened. I really don't. Showquist has been having a good game as well. But I don't like the fact that we seem so lax in defence. We just don't seem to be taking anything they do really seriously. And we've let them in again there. Oh, goodness me. It was offside, fortunately. But still, I'm not happy with how we've let Newcastle just take over and dominate that half of football. Because we started off well, but we didn't do anything, and then all of a sudden they just take over. So I'm just going to say that I'm not happy with us, because I'm not happy with this. Marine not having a good game. I've gone back to using the libero. I keep wanting to say libero, the libero, because I'm convinced that we can get something good with the libero stepping up. Actually, the Man City game, that was a great example of it working. But outside of that, it's just not something that we seem to be getting to grips with. So I'm going to change it back to a ball-playing defender. I'm going to keep these two out wide. That's not a problem. But we'll change this guy to a ball-playing defender. And I'm actually going to move Ute back into the middle. And Marine can be the one out there a little bit. Although, to be fair, Ute's probably a bit... Is he quicker? No, he's not quicker. So, yeah, no, we'll do it that way around. We'll go with that. Leeson's not had a good game. I'm going to bring McKernan on just for a bit more attacking oomph. I'm going to leave everything else as it is at the moment. But tactically, I'm going to change something. I feel like we should... I'll take one of the defence off because we've not been really doing that. So let's get rid of it. It's a wasted thing at the moment. And then for my final trick, do we jump down? I mean, they've been getting in behind a little bit. So let's drop the line back down to higher a little bit. And let's just see whether that will make a difference. It might not, but we'll go with that. I'll give it 5 or 10 in-game minutes and then we'll go attacking as well. But that was a really, really poor end to the half. I mean, that first half was poor anyway because we didn't do anything with the ball, even though we had it. So we need to kind of crack on a little bit in this second half. Big ball over here to Mosquera, who I think in the end of last season when we got knocked out of the semi-final, I said I thought he was a midfielder. He's absolutely not. He's playing as a defender today. Again, we're just letting Newcastle kind of pass through us. We're meant to be pressing relentlessly, and we're really not. And that it concerns me when I've got all of the pressing settings set to press all the time, and I don't really see us doing that. We just lay off players quite often. We're just letting them do their own thing here. This is going to be 2-1. This is going to be 2-1. I can just tell it. Unless we can get an interception here. But if we let them pass around like this, they're just going to pass their way into our goal. There it is. There it is, Coyote. That is so disappointing. We're going to have to go attacking. I don't really want this run against Newcastle to continue. I'm not even watching the highlight. I'm berating the team because we're just letting them do what they want, and I'm not really a big fan of it. I don't like the fact our strikers don't seem to want to do anything either. I'm going to drop Ben Cook to support. I want him to get further down a little bit and just try to get him involved with play a little bit more. Marine's going to come off as well. I'm going to bring on Dan Hughes. I'm actually going to change you boys to wide centre-backs just to cover a little bit more. Let's go with that. I'm aware the game is playing while I'm doing this. We'll just leave it at that for the time being. But we're just not at the races in this game whatsoever. I get the team are probably a bit tired, but Newcastle's team will be tired as well. And we've given them another corner here. We've not really defended it that well. Let's go back to a co-match, who I did look to see if we could sign him in the summer, but we just weren't able to commit to putting a deal on for him with the amount of money he would have cost. Right, McKernan's cleared it, but only as far as Baidu. But I'll tell you what, McKernan's done really well there. Right, now we need a chance to attack. Cook's dropped a bit deeper, which is exactly what I wanted him to. He's not got much pace there, and he's just given the ball away. Oh, O'Reilly does really well there. Right, a Twester now. Can he turn the afterburners on? No, he goes out wide to Bayer. That's probably the smarter decision, actually, to do that. Bayer now, whipping it in, looking for Ben Cook. Can't quite get his head on it, and Newcastle have possession again. And none of our players there to press, although Hughes does a fantastic job switching to wide centre-back. He wouldn't have done that if he wasn't a wide centre-back. He balls in, a Twester's there, and we've equalised again. I mean, Newcastle are a decent team. We know that they're a decent team in this universe. We know that they're good. We know they're just underperforming this season, and they've just put in a good manager. So this is new manager bounce, probably. But it is still a bit disappointing to see how they've been doing and how much we've struggled against them. I can't remember how we've done in the league against them this season. We must have lost against them. So they're just one of those teams that have our number. I'm just going to demand more from the boys because we're getting there, but it's a bit disappointing that we've had to wait as long as we have to get there. Right, Ben Cook is... I'm starting to really get annoyed at Ben Cook because he's a great player. But at the moment, I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing enough return from him. But he's got a bit of magic in him. So I don't really want to lose him at this moment. He's just not quick enough. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to this system. Cook's going to go in the middle. I mean, Jack, I feel bad taking Jack Grealish off, but I kind of want to keep Cook on. I'm going to bring on Aka because we need a goal. And as good as Jack Grealish has played, Ben Cook, I just feel like he's got a little bit more about him. That might be a mistake to do, but I'm going to do that. I might just need to change the wing backs, the wide centre backs as well, because I don't know whether this system has got wide centre backs. No, it doesn't. So let's just change those back over. And then change you back to a ball playing defender on defense. Not having a good game. He was having a good game, and then I moved him into the middle. And whoever the central defender is just doesn't seem to have a particularly good game. So I'm just going to try and guide him so that he doesn't make too many mistakes. I just want him to kind of sit back, not press, and be a little bit of a guardian of the goal. So let's see whether that will work. But let's just see whether we can get this extra goal. We have trained penalties just in case, but I don't really want to have to get to penalties. But it's looking like we might have to. Oh, goodness me. Newcastle, again, they've got a good team. So it's one of those where I can understand it a little bit. But keeping Ben Cook on has not paid off whatsoever. It really hasn't. Matt O'Reilly, should we take him off for Andre? I mean, he's had a decent game, but he's tiring is what I'm thinking. So, yeah, let's bring on Andre. And then I'm looking at D'Ambrosio for Shockwist, but Shockwist is a good penalty taker. I don't really want to take off our last good penalty taker. I feel like that would be a mistake. I feel like that'd be a big mistake. I'm looking at Ute and I'm thinking, do we bring on Bejetic? Do we maybe move Dan Hughes over here, put Owino in the middle, and bring on Ute, bring off Ute and bring on Bejetic? Because Bejetic can do a decent job as a wide centre back. Let's do that. Let's give that a go. Right, corner to Newcastle. This is where we lose it, isn't it? Just over. I thought when the substitutions came up at the bottom, I thought that was it, game over. I'm just noticing as well, I need to change my battery. I don't have any more batteries, so that's just going to have to run out. Newcastle have kind of done one on us in this game, I feel like. I feel like we should be winning this, and we really have not been at the races. Right. Highlight. It's got to be the final highlight. Newcastle with the ball at the moment. Can we get the ball off of them? And can we have an opportunity? Keeping the ball well here. Hughes, I tell you what, since he's come on, Hughes has been fantastic. Ball to Atuesta now. Into Beja. Into Cook. Into McKernan. What's McKernan doing there? I don't know. Into Beja. Beja now. Looking to get it to someone. Gets it into Acker. And Emmanuel Acker might have just gone and won the game for us. It's being checked for offside though. 94th minute, sorry, of 95. No, it's offside. Oh, whoa. Ref, come on, man. Right, Bear, ball. He is offside. Oh, okay. Right, well, it's going to be penalties then. Oh, we've not got a good record as a team with penalties. We really don't. Right, I'm just going to try and ease the pressure because at the end of the day, it is a lottery, but this is how we got knocked out of the semi-final of the FA Cup, and I'm a little bit annoyed it's come back down to this, but it is going to be Gordon to take the first penalty for Newcastle against us. And Van der Voort doesn't save it. Van der Voort is a good goalkeeper, but he's not played much for us. He's our domestic cup goalkeeper, but he's let in 2 goals today, which I think were very avoidable. Shockwist, oh my word, he's our best penalty taker. He's our best penalty taker, and he's had it saved. Oh, God. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? I feel like, you know when sometimes you turn on Football Manager and it just punishes you? Like, for whatever reason. I feel like that's what this is. Okay, at least Ben Cook scores. First useful thing he's done in the entire game. I'm getting a little bit annoyed at Ben Cook because he has these good games, but then he just goes anonymous. He's been anonymous for a little while now. Right, Sol step. So Van der Voort said, right, we're back in it. We're back in it. Good on you guys. Right, now we need a Atuesta to bury it. Then we're level. And then we go again. Right, Atuesta. Oh my word. What was that? What actually was that from Atuesta? We're at the Carabao Cup, aren't we? No! Did you see that? Post and save from Van der Voort. And that puts us back into it. And we could all of a sudden have an advantage. Well, no, we could be level. We are level. Acker puts us level. Right. Shootout. Final penalties. And if it's level, we go to sudden death. Can we save rumbles? We save rumbles. We might be going through. We might be pulling this back here. We might be snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. And it's Andre, the captain. Came off the bench. He steps up. I'm not happy with this performance, but I'll be happy with the result if Andre can bury it. I think that's the first penalty shootout we've won. We haven't played many of them, but I'm pretty sure that's the first one we've won. I'm sure we lost one against Arsenal, we've lost one against Newcastle, and we've just won one against Newcastle. Hiccup, sorry. Oh my word. What utter ridiculousness that was. What utter ridiculousness that was. I'm not happy with... I mean, I'm not saying that. It's not as good a win. I'm not happy with the team. I will tell Van der Voort he did very well, because he did. But the rest of the team I'm very disappointed with there. We just could not get the ball in their back of the net consistently when we should have been. We had the chances and we just weren't using them, and then we just let them play through us. The way they played through us is the bit I was a bit concerned about that, and I don't like it. When they get into our penalty area, it just feels like we're going to concede a goal, and that is very concerning, to be honest. That is very concerning. As you can see there, like, both of those goals, we just let them play through. So, I don't quite know what I need to do. I have fiddled with this tactic a bit. Maybe I need to refiddle with it. Again, obviously, I put the libero and the ball-playing defenders back in. I think we go back to wide centre-backs and kind of a solid stationary defender in the middle. I think we're going to have to, because that was just not good. That was not good at all. The midfielders did okay. I mean, Showquist did give the ball away at one point, which was a bit concerning. Lifeson didn't have the best of games, but I can allow that. Ben Cook ended up playing okay, to be fair. I'll give Ben Cook credit where it's due. He ended up doing all right. But his run of form recently, I don't know. If to me, it's felt watching games. I mean, he had the game against Galatasaray. That was fantastic. But you can see either side of it, not good performances. So, again, against Manchester City as well, where we played really well. So, I need to work out exactly what I'm doing wrong. I mean, I've put him on attack at the moment. I'm thinking I might drop him back down to support so he can drop a bit deeper, and then we just leave Atuesta as the focal point. I was debating at one point, do we do something like this, where we've got Cook who'll fill this space, we've got Grealish who'll fill, or Fernandes who'll fill this space, and Atuesta's the focal point. Just do a little bit of an offset system maybe, because then that leaves space for Showquist to run into. I might give that a go next time just for the heck of it. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? It could not work. I've just spelled it out. That's the worst that could happen. Right, well, this video is now a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, so I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to get to the Manchester United game, and hopefully we don't get absolutely battered by then. We're back for the game against Manchester United, who, just to recap where they are in the league, they're currently in 4th spot. So they'll probably be looking at us and thinking, lads, what are you doing up there? You absolute madmen. So we're going to go ahead now. I do want to just point out, we are still on 38 points, with 37 points being Man City, with 1 point being the difference. We've now got a game in hand. Manchester City have clearly lost their last game. Is it here? And they haven't played this weekend, but they've clearly played a game against Manchester United, and United battered them. So United are going to be in good form, but they are coming to us. It's not Old Trafford. This is Molineux. So we've got that going for us. But this is the 11 that we're going to be using. It is going to... is it the 11 we're going to be using? I'm thinking I might make one last change, and that is Rafa Marine is going to start instead of Ute. Don't know why. Just feel like that's the thing to do. It's going to be Trafford in goal, Hughes, Marine, and Owino in defence. McKernan and Bayer are going to be the wing-backs, with Showquist and O'Reilly. Not O'Reilly. I forgot to change you. It's going to be Andre in the middle. Showquist and Andre in the middle. And then we're going to have Fernandes as the attacking midfielder. I've moved him out to the left. I don't know why, but I'm just thinking, let's put him there. Let's have Atuesta as the focal point and have Cook just slightly to the side. It might just disrupt their defence a little bit, is what I'm thinking. So it's going to be Fernandes as the attacking midfielder, Cook as the deep line forward, and Atuesta is going to be the main man up top. That's the plan anyway. Whether that works or not is another matter entirely. Let's get to the game. Let's see whether we can see what we can do what we did to Manchester City and just blow them out of the water. That'd be amazing. Likelihood, don't know. Probably not very high, but we'll give it all we've got. I will say, Elia Caprile is their goalkeeper. They signed him this summer. We were looking at him before we signed James Trafford. He would not come to us at that point. At that point, I think he was West Ham. So Manchester United obviously have gone in for him. They did look Manchester United at James Trafford briefly, but they obviously then went for Caprile. I think the race was basically for everyone who wanted a goalkeeper. Trafford and Caprillo were the two that they wanted, and we ended up keeping Trafford for now. Obviously, if someone comes and pays the amount of money we've specified, it will be different. Ben Cook might be back on form. I mean, really quickly. I mean, he ended up getting a 6.9 in the last game. It wasn't a bad result in the end, but he's gone and scored a fantastic goal there. So what happens here? Bayer gets to Fernandez. Fernandez over to Andre. Andre ball into Atuesta, who nudges it through to Cook. I'm not sure if he does actually, or whether it's a Manchester United player. We'll see in a moment. He definitely gets a touch off of someone. We'll see here. So the offside is there. So it must have been Atuesta who's managed to find the ball through. It is. So Atuesta assists Cook, and it's 1-0 to us very early on. I'll take that. I'll take that all day long. Fabulous. Right, let's see whether we can go and get a second, or at least just maintain this for a while and just establish everything. Let's get the league table back up as well. This would put us on... what would it put us on? I forget, because Manchester City are playing as well, so it'll be difficult probably to judge it actually, because we're still going to have that game in hand. It's been a bit all up and down this game momentum wise. However, Manchester United are clearly on top at the moment. In fact, I'm going to let the game run before I say anything. Let's just see what happens here. Big ball forward. Hughes is going to claim that. Hughes on a 6.6, considering he did really well coming off the bench in the last game. Again, it doesn't have inconsistency as a problem, but I find it to be a bit inconsistent. McKernan across the box to Atuesta, cannot quite get through the defenders there, but another good move from us there. But United are the ones having all of the shots at the moment and all the momentum, but we're having all the highlights. Whipped in, Shockwist looking for Hughes, can't find him. Fernandez doesn't get the header. We will get possession back here. Bayer looking to find someone to give the ball to, gets it to McKernan. McKernan with his back to goal though. Andre sprays it out wide to Owino. Owino cuts in to Fernandez. Fernandez, Bayer to Owino. This run of games, by the way, best thing that could have happened to Bayer. He's got a consistent run of games in the side. He's getting more used to playing as a wing back. Really good for him. Cook now to McKernan. McKernan, that trio of forwards trying to run forward there. It looks like that shape is working quite nicely. McKernan whips it in. He's looking for the head of Fernandez here, and he finds the head of Fernandez, and all of a sudden we lead by 2-0. McKernan with the assist. I tell you what a season he's having. He was like fully on the cusp of the team. Not really having to play silly. We were having to find positions to train him in. And then we find out, oh, why don't we just try him as a wing-back in a 3-at-the-back system? And it turns out it's the best thing we could have done. He's been superb. Absolutely superb. What a ball that was. Fernandez gets a goal. The front three are playing well. We're 2 goals up. We're getting momentum in the game. I'm a happy chappy at the moment, but the game has still got more than a half of football to go, and here come Manchester United. McKernan trying to stop the pass there, and Garnacho, lovely attempt at the shot there, but it does go over, and it remains 2-0. In an ideal world, I want to get to half-time 2-0 at minimum. I don't want to concede a goal. If we concede a goal, I'll consider that to be a failure. We do not concede a goal. I'm very happy with that. Right, 2-0 it is. Very happy with that. I'm going to say that they're capable of better, because they are. Let's have a quick chat with some of the players. I'm just going to tell Dan Hughes to calm himself down. That's obviously not worked. He's actually done the opposite. I'm going to tell Rafa Marine to calm himself down a little bit. The midfielders haven't been the best, but we'll just say that as a holding pattern. But the wing backs and the front three have all done their jobs admirably so far. I'm going to say that to them, motivate them. James Trafford as well. Shout out to him. Right. I'm just thinking about putting Rafa Marini as a better wide centre-back, and I'm just thinking, do we put maybe Dan Hughes in the middle, change it to a central defender so he's not worrying about stupid passes, fewer risks, shorter passing, he can just do his thing. That feels like a sensible thing to do if we play him there, and then we'll just get Rafa Marine out wide, because Rafa Marine, I feel like he's going to benefit from being out wide a little bit more than Dan Hughes is. Right, I'm quite happy with everything. I'm not going to make any subs. We're going to go again. Let's just go again and let's see whether we can carry on as we were. We're happy with United having momentum if they can't use it. And at the moment, it feels like they're not able to put their best foot forward at the moment. Let's just carry on with that, shall we? Right, momentum is with us at the moment. We had another opportunity. We're actually quite clinical so far today, although our XG is quite low, so they are low percentage opportunities. But we are all over them. I'd like a third goal just to kind of cement it, if that's okay. Football Manager gods, if you want to provide that. Man City are 2-0 down, by the way. The Man City job could be going in the summer if Man City keep going like this. Like, I know they're near the top of the table, but 2-0 down against Crystal Palace, that's not great. Shockwist with the free kick here. He's not going to put this top bins, is he? Oh, he nearly did. And Caprile has to make a fantastic save on the cusp of the 70th minute. Right, I am going to make some substitutions. Let's have a look at Tyler. Shotquist, I will say, his fitness isn't low. He's got stamina of 14, but in the role that he's got, he does get through it quite quickly. So I am going to probably sub him off. Or do I? No. But do you know what? I'm coming back on that. We're not going to sub him off. We're going to leave him on. I'm going to take Bayer off. I'm going to bring on Hinselwood, who has been training in this position. I know he's quite low, but he has done a decent job when we've called upon him. Dan Hughes is still not having a good game, so I'm going to bring on Ute. Or, no, do you know what? Bayetic is going to come on. I'm going to put Marine back into the middle. Although he has definitely been playing better since we moved him, I'm going to pop him into the middle. Bayetic is going to go to wide centre-back because he can do that job. And we'll leave it at that for now. But Shotquist will be coming off for D'Ambrosio at some point. I just don't want to do it too early, just in case Shotquist can get another moment of magic in there. I know he's not had the best of game, Shotquist, but he's just... His corners are good, his free kicks are decent. I just don't want to take that weapon away too early. United have had more opportunities, but I feel like a lot of theirs are probably going to be hit and hopes because we've not seen much from them. Touch wood. I mean, obviously something could still happen. Right, D'Ambrosio is going to come on. I'm going to bring on Acker as well. We're going to rest Atuesta. Atuesta hasn't scored today, but he's done a really, really good job of leading the line. And then for my final trick, I'm thinking maybe resting McKernan. Or do we leave him? No, do you know what? We'll probably leave him because he's still got pace. I'm looking at Andre. I don't really want to change the entire heart of the team. No, we will do McKernan. And we'll bring Leifson on, I think. Or do we take Fernandez off? I mean, Fernandez has literally just started to play well. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. Oh, I don't think I've been drinking enough because that just went all very croaky. I think I'm just going to do it, actually. I think McKernan off for Leifson. To me, that probably makes the most sense out of all the changes we can make. We'll keep one member of the midfield in there. We'll keep the two of the original defenders in there. And we'll keep two of the original attacking lineup in there as well. That way, we've got a fresh pass of the substitutes bench in each part of the squad down the spine. But we've also got some continuity there as well. That feels like it makes the most sense. Right, let's just try and see the game out here. I'm quite content with what we've got. 2-0. That'd be nice. I mean, if it goes to 2-1, it's not the end of the world. I'll be a bit disappointed we haven't kept a clean sheet, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right, United with possession here, looking to try and get a goal. Fernandez did really well to press them back to defence there, and now United having to build again here. Luis Enrique going back, gets to Ugarte in the middle. Aka does so well. What a signing he's turned out to be, by the way. Cook now, out wide to Hinselwood, into Fernandez. Fernandez looking for someone to pass the ball into. He's having to wait. He goes back to Andre. Andre goes to Leifson, and gone. Would you have put that down as on the expected goal scorers today? I wouldn't have. Leifson goes and makes it 3 after just coming off the bench. Justified substitution. Fernandez does a great job here. Cuts it back to Andre. Andre just picks out the right back so well, arriving late into the box. That's the benefit of having the wing backs on attack. They just will try their luck a little bit more and go that little bit further forward into the box. And that is now game over. And we now have a 4-point lead at the top. Manchester City, by the way, I've just seen their score 3-2 to Crystal Palace. They came back into the game, Man City, but they weren't able to win. And now we have a game in hand down a 4-point gap. Is the title race starting to become a legit thing? Like, is it actually starting to become a legit thing? Because it's Christmas and we're top by 4 points with a game in hand. But you can see the Man City game there. They score very early on. They get a second one there. Man City get one back, make it 2-1. Then it's 3-1. Then it's 3-2. And then that's it. Utter madness. Utter madness. Ben Cook, really happy with his performance in that game. Really happy with Fernandez getting a goal as well. He also looked good in general. And then Leifson coming off the bench was good as well. Only the one yellow card for us as well. We let them have opportunities, but they could not do anything because of the way we were set up. I like the idea that we're just like, yeah, come on then. But we're set up in such a way that they can't have easy opportunities. So there was obviously some good defensive stability there. Our next game is against Liverpool, though, which is a problem. Right, Mapiu to sign for Frankfurt. We will get 18.75 million of the deal, which means there is a chunk that will just go into the club, which I'm perfectly happy with. There will also be more money coming in over time. So I'm quite happy to confirm that deal. I'll obviously do the press conference as well here. That won't leave us with a lot of money, to be fair. We don't have a lot of money in general. I have had to offer Leafson a new contract as well. So some of this will go down. It will go down by about 20k, actually. So my PU, we're going to get, what is this? We're going to get about 18 million come in, and we're going to have his wages saved, which is £66,000 a week. It's probably not enough to do anything with in terms of like a normal standard signing, but I might do a Wonder Kids shop and see if we can get some Wonder Kids in there possibly. What I also might do, potentially, if I'm allowed to, is I might call Dos Santos back. In fact, Dos Santos is actually going to be back anyway. He's due back on the 31st, so we're about to get a 20-year-old Uruguayan Wonder Kid who's already got 4 caps for his national team come back as a centre-back. 6'2", good jumping reach. His marking is good, his tackling is good, his positioning is good. He's not the bravest in the world, but that's fine. Composed, not necessarily the best either. His passing is decent, his vision is decent. If we ever do want to play with a libero, that might be the guy. But I'm also thinking he could be the guy that maybe goes into the middle of the defence, or even another wide centre-back, because apparently we've got a plethora of those. But either way, he comes back. I'm not worried about losing my PU all of a sudden, because this guy, he can do the job. Doesn't have a side preference either. Delightful. I hadn't even noticed that was going to happen, but there we go, it is. Right, that's going to be it for today. In terms of the next game, it's a good question. We've got a long January ahead of us. We might come back for the end of January. I might come back for the beginning of February. I'm not playing the Newcastle game. I'm just not. I hate, I can't even speak. That's how much I hate playing them. So we'll have European football hopefully around there. So we'll see what happens with the Champions League. What I'll do is I'll judge how we're doing in the Champions League, and if it looks like we're going through, by the way, Arsenal in the Carabao Cup semi-final. We're not getting to the Carabao Cup final this year. If we can get past the Champions League and get into the playoffs will be around here. We'll come back for the playoffs. But yeah, I'll assess where we come back at some point in the not too distant future. It'll either be here or here somewhere. I don't know. I'll have a think about it. But that's going to do it for today. Just to confirm again, top of the table by 4 points with a game in hands. I mean, what's there? What's not to love? Also, by the way, Fernandez is somehow he's our top goal scorer in the league. We've got Shawquist, who's top assist maker on 8 assists, and we've got James Trafford, who's second in clean sheets. We're starting to get some players who are starting to be outstanding in their field, which quite a nice feeling. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like on there for me, and click that like button, click the subscribe button rather, if you want to keep up to date with all of the future content going forward on the channel. My name is Stu. You guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.